G'day and welcome to another video with Better Pics. Hope this finds you all well. Today's video we're going to have a quick look at how to create slow motion within Capcut. Now it's not so much creating slow motion but taking footage that's been filmed to allow for slow motion and then converting it so that it does exactly that. I will be creating another video that looks at how slow motion actually works with filming, but for now we're just going to look at the process of converting footage within Capcut into a slow motion video. Alright, let's get into it. So you can see I've got a project here with a bunch of footage imported and two clips on the timeline here in Capcut. I just want to draw your attention to the top right hand side, and the frame rate of this project is 25 frames per second. Now I'm based in Australia, and based on our broadcast standards 25 frames per second is pretty normal for general video production, so that's why I'm using that for today's project. Now, we've got two clips as I mentioned. Now, one of them is already in slow motion and another one is ready to be converted into slow motion, and I just want to explain the difference. One of them was filmed at 100 frames a second, which with the 25 frame per second project would allow us to have quarter speed footage when it's played back. The other one was filmed in 50 frames per second, which when converted to slow motion allows us to have half speed playback. Now the reason that I just wanted to highlight these two is because the 100 frame per second footage is saved within the camera at 25 frames per second. So as soon as you put it into a project and you start playing it, as you can see here, it will play in slow motion. So you can see this clip is running very, very slowly and best demonstrated with that water in the cave that's flowing down in that waterfall. And you can see, as I mentioned earlier, that is roughly quarter speed. As I mentioned earlier, that's quarter speed to real time. Now, if we look at the other clip, this one was recorded in 50 frames per second, and it's actually saved as a 50 frame per second file within the camera. That means that when we play it back, it still appears as a normal real-time clip. And we're just going to play this for you. You can see that that water is flowing, and that is as it appeared when I recorded it in camera, and it's been saved as a 50 frame per second file. So that means that we need to go through a bit of a conversion process within Capcut to convert it into a slow motion clip, because the clip only has to play back at 25 frames per second. So when it's been recorded at 50 frames per second, we can play back at 25, thus halving the speed of how the footage looks. This is how we create slow motion footage. So what we need to do is select the clip. And if we go up in the top right hand corner here, you can see we've got an option for speed. So we're just going to click on that one so it's highlighted. And you can see that we've got the option to slow down or speed up the clip. Now what I'm going to do is allow for the actual clip recorded frames, which as I mentioned is 50 frames per second. If we slow it down any further, that means that we're using every frame that was recorded in camera and we're not creating extra frames in post-production. So what I'm going to do is just click on that drop down little option there on the right hand side, and you can see we're now down to 0.5 times or half speed. And if we click play, you can see that now the water is flowing beautifully and we're enjoying that wonderful half-speed slow motion. You can also see that the duration has been adjusted. It was originally 70 seconds and it's now been adjusted to be 140 seconds because we've effectively doubled the length of the clip, or the relative length of the clip within the timeline. So this is how we convert footage with a higher frame rate in Capcut so that we're playing it back as slow motion. It's a pretty straightforward process, and it's definitely worth having an experiment and seeing if you can incorporate that into your video editing workflow. Now you can see a checkbox here for smooth slow-mo. It's not generally something that I use because I tend to find that it just slowly blurs anything that's moving within the frame, and it's only specific footage that it actually works for. And you can see just in the drop-down box below we've got two options, frame blending and optical flow. They're just basically ways in which each frame is blended into the next one. So it's worth experimenting with both of them just to see how they work. For this particular footage, I'm actually going to leave it turned off, and you can see that we do have really nice, crisp and clear footage, and it's beautifully slowed down to half speed. But definitely with your footage, make sure you experiment with those options because you may find that it gives you the result that you're looking for. Thanks as always for stopping by. As always, any questions are welcome in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.